So today we're going to cover 9 ways that you can go and source products directly from your home or your couch, okay? Because the reality is you don't actually have to go out to retail stores or thrift stores or Goodwills and spend hours of your time searching products and scanning products. You can do it all right from home, okay? Now, if you prefer to do that, I know a lot of resellers actually kind of enjoy the process of going out to stores and scanning, and like it's almost like a treasure hunt to find like a good product or source a product that way physically in the store. If you enjoy that, then more power to you. That's totally cool, but this video right here is not for you, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about 9 ways that you can find products sourcing directly from your home or your couch, as the video title obviously says, right? So I'm gonna cover them all. I've got them listed right here, and I use every single one of these in depth. I've done them, some of them are more scalable, some of them are more beginner friendly if you don't have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of time. So I'll cover specifically what it is, how you can use it, and who it's more geared towards, right? Like the benefits and the drawbacks of it, okay? So the first one is one that I've talked about a lot, and that is coupon websites, okay? And if you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of money, but you have a lot of time, then this is perfect for you, right? So what a coupon website is, and I have a full playlist on this actual channel if you want to learn more about coupon websites, how to actually go about using them, and a number of them. You can always, as well, all of these websites are linked down in the description in my cheat sheet. Not every single website, but it'll give you, I think, 70 to 100 sites that I use now. It'll give you coupon sites as well as some of the other ones in here. So you can go grab the cheat sheet 100% free, use that, then come back to the playlists on this channel. There will be a playlist for pretty much every one of these, coupon included, okay? And you can watch tutorials of how I source through coupon sites, resell them, and the entire strategy behind it, okay? So coupon websites are basically websites that house Amazon products and give you coupon codes to buy them, right? In this case, everybody wins. The Amazon seller wins who lists their product there because they get you to buy their product and they get a sale on Amazon, which helps rank their product higher, right? The coupon website wins because they obviously charge the seller to list their product there, and you win because you get a coupon to buy a product that has a retail value of like $10 or $20 or $40 or whatever. It's different product to product, right? And you get it at a cheap price. So for example, let's say you buy a $20 product with a coupon code and you buy that product for $150. Well, now you have an $18.50 potential profit margin if you sell that product back online, right? So that's kind of how coupon websites work. Again, there's a full cheat sheet with a bunch of coupon sites and a full playlist on this channel that will show you countless tutorials of how to actually go about doing this, but I just kind of want to give you the overview and let you know that you don't actually have to go out and source products physically in person and waste your time scanning if you prefer to do it from home, right? That's exactly what I do, okay? So that's coupon websites in a nutshell. Now, key here is do not sell these products back on Amazon. It used to work. Don't do it anymore. It's not worth the headache. Instead, resell them on sites like not Amazon. Resell them on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and the list goes on, okay? But that works very, very well, especially if you're a beginner, to build up like an initial nest egg of money to then invest into a more scalable form of reselling and source products that move a lot faster for sites like Amazon that you can obviously, gauge the sales velocity and make more money faster, okay? The next one's very similar to coupon, and that's Cashback Arbitrage. Again, there's a full playlist on this channel on Cashback Arbitrage. If you want to see many different tutorials, as well as many of those sites are also listed in the cheat sheet. So Cashback Arbitrage is very similar to coupon arbitrage, and basically what a cashback website is it lists the product for full retail. Again, everybody wins in this equation again, right? The seller wins, you win because you get a free product or a very, very cheap product via cashback, and the website wins because they charge the seller, right? So in this case, you would potentially go buy that same $20 product, but instead of getting a coupon code, you'd spend $20 on it. You'd buy it full retail from Amazon, and then the seller would refund you or rebate you and give you cash back for that product. Now, sometimes, depending on the website, depending on the actual product, right, and depending on the cashback that's listed, you can either get a free product or sometimes you're paying a very small minimal fee that's like $1, $1.50. So it's very, very similar to coupon arbitrage in that aspect and the coupon websites, but same overall gist. Again, do not sell these cashback products back on Amazon. You can sell them on those same sites, right? eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, etc. Okay? Now, the next one is one of my favorites, especially, and cashback is also geared more towards beginners like coupon, obviously. The next one is one of my favorites. It's more still on the beginner side, but it also allows you to scale up a little bit better, right? So it's a little bit more intermediate, although it still does take your time, okay? And that is liquidation websites. Now, there's two basic ways to approach liquidation websites. I'm not gonna cover sourcing liquidation for Amazon because that's a completely different thing. But I will cover sourcing liquidation for, the same websites that we've covered already, right? eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, et cetera, et cetera. And what liquidation websites let you do is, yes, the drawback of it is you have to spend more money ahead of time, right? So you can't spend like $1.50 on a product and potentially sell that for like $18, right? Where your risk is relatively low because you don't need a lot of money to start, or spend money and get your money back via cashback, right? With liquidation, you generally, not always, but you generally have to spend more money. Usually it's at least $100 minimum, all the way up to like a couple $100 to even a couple thousand if you really want to scale and you really want to go after a valuable pallet, right? So a pallet is just, it's kind of like a box. It doesn't always have to be like a pallet. It's just a number. It's a phrase that basically means buying a number of products via a liquidation site. And while the drawback of it is you do have to spend a lot of money, or not a lot, but more money than you would with coupon or cashback, so it's a little bit more intermediate. That's a drawback, but the benefit of it is you're sourcing all of these top branded products that already have demand a lot of times and people are already looking for on these other retail websites, and you're able to buy them super, super cheap because you're buying them in bulk from a liquidation company, okay? So that's a benefit of liquidation. And then obviously, let's say you source a pallet of like 150 top branded products, all for like, I don't know, $2, then obviously you're paying $300 for the pallet. You're getting 150 items, all with top brands. I do this with shoes all the time. I do this with clothes all the time, and I list them on Poshmark. And basically what you're doing is you're solidifying that you're buying all of these products at a super low price. You list them all on those same websites, Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and then you just slowly let them sell off. Because the name of the game there is the more things that you have listed, obviously the more potential sales that you can make, and then the more, it's gonna trickle that slow cash flow to you. And it might take you realistically a couple weeks to a month to make your money back on that pallet. But then once you make your money back, typically how it works is like, let's say you spend $300, you're paying $2 per product, right? So $300 on a pallet of 150 products that are top branded. Slowly you sell that off and then you make your $300 back in 3 weeks, let's say, right? But then you still have like 130 products listed on those sites that are all going to be potential profit as they slowly sell off and trickle you cash flow, right? And so you can imagine just how easy it is to scale that business, because the more obviously pallets you buy, then you can slowly start building up that reservoir and all your listings. And eventually, as you kind of profit on those pallets, it will just be all profit and all listed on these websites. So it's a very, very great way to kind of scale a reselling business from home. You can order all those products just like you almost would going to a thrift store or, a Goodwill or something like that, right? But you don't ever have to leave. You can just order from liquidation websites. They will deliver it to you, and then you slowly list all of these products on those sites from your home. Very, very easy, right? So that's a great way to do it as well. Now, the next one is retail websites. So there's a bunch of retail websites. There's tens of thousands of them out there, but ones that come to mind that are super popular that, is really gonna relate this idea better to you are like Walmart or Best Buy or Target or anything like that, right? And so you can literally go manually to retail websites and look through the clearances, or, slowly manually compare the difference in prices from a retail website like Walmart, for example, to Amazon. And if there's a difference in price, then obviously you can buy it cheap on one website, resell it on a website like Amazon, and profit the difference, right? But that's how it used to work. You don't actually have to do that manually and slowly source yourself and waste time like you would, if you were going out to a retail store physically at like Walmart and scanning things there, right? Or if you were going out, physically and going to a thrift store, right? You can use software. Now, there's a lot of software out there that works. I recommend either looking into Source Mogul. I have a tutorial on Source Mogul. I will drop that up in the right-hand corner right now, as well as link it down at the bottom of the description if you want to check it out later on when you're done watching the rest of these actual websites that I'm about to list here. So Source Mogul is a great one. That's the one that I use, as well as Tactical Arbitrage. A lot of people recommend that one as well. They both work very, very well, right? And that way you can hop on the software. The software will literally compare. You can choose a store. There's lots of ways to use them, but you can choose a store specifically and let the software literally compare every listing on that website. If it's Walmart, for example, you're looking at like 10,000 listings on that website and comparing all 10,000 listings super quickly with the software to all the other listings on Amazon and finding their specific match on Amazon and letting you know if there's a price difference. So you don't have to scan it manually and waste your time. The software is doing all the heavy lifting and all the work for you. So retail websites are a great way to do it. Highly recommend that you look into those. And again, liquidation, like I believe I said this, liquidation, retail sites, literally all of these. There are tutorials on this channel. Just check the playlists if you want like a specific playlist on a specific way to source, okay? Now, the next one is deal websites for retail sites, right? So a deal website, you do actually have to scan through manually, but what the deal website, creators do is they already are out there looking for these deals for you. And so you can go to a deal website. There's a bunch of them that come to mind. One that comes to mind is like Slick Deals. Another one that comes to mind is like Ben's Bargains. But again, there's a number of these listed on the cheat sheet, linked down in the description for free, that you can literally go to. And every single morning I used to do this. Now I use software, and I also source wholesale, which is a little bit more scalable, and books, which is a little bit more scalable. But when I was still just kind of starting out or like not doing this that much, I would go to these sites, manually source them in the morning. So it's great for beginners, right? Especially if you don't want to spend any money on software, even though the software is super cheap and going to pay for itself like immediately anyway. But if you don't want to go out and spend money on software, deal websites are great for beginners to get into online arbitrage, because you can go there every morning or every afternoon or whatever, whenever you have time, source them manually, and the deal website is literally listing all the best deals for you, and then you can compare the prices from Amazon, and you don't have to go to a website like Walmart, for example, and scan through 10,000 listings manually, which is never going to happen, right, and going to take you forever. You can literally just go look at like the top 10 or the top 20 that they have listed there, and a lot of times you can compare them very, very quickly and find a good deal, within a couple minutes to maybe like 10 to 15 minutes of your time invested. So that's a great place to go as well. Deal websites, you do have to scan them manually, right? You can't scan a deal website with this specific, in this case, with software. So you can either go to the retail websites and use software, or go to the deal websites, and there's a couple deals listed there depending on the site. Sometimes it's a couple, sometimes it's like a couple, dozen or a couple hundred. But it's a great way to go, especially if you're a beginner, and find great deals, okay? So that's another great place that I recommend that you check out. Now, the next one is gonna be eBay and book websites. Now, I don't wanna get too much into this because I have a number of tutorials on how to actually do this, but what I like to do is I use software to actually scan book websites like Alibris, and they literally never pop, like Biblio. There's probably like 10 to 15 book websites out there, as well as eBay. And with the software, I use eFlippins and Arbitrage. You can find tutorials on how to use them 100% free in the actual book arbitrage playlist, or it's like book reselling playlist on this channel. And there's countless tutorials on how to use them and source. Both of those softwares also come with a free trial, so I recommend watching those tutorials, joining the free trial, and you can start sourcing and solidifying profit for yourself immediately today if you do that, right? So book websites are great, as well as eBay, because the software is literally going to, a lot like the software for the retail websites, is going to the book websites and comparing the books on those websites and their prices to the Amazon detail page and the price there, and literally spoon feeding you different book opportunities to buy, where you can buy them on one website or eBay or a book website, sell them back on Amazon for a profit margin, and literally lock down that profit margin because the software is telling you and doing all the heavy lifting for you. So book websites are another one. Now, one of the ones that I did want to touch on, because it is a way that you can source from home, but I don't recommend it because it's so overplayed. A lot of drop shippers use it, and the quality of the products is garbage, is Wish or AliExpress. So you can actually source from Wish. You can actually source from AliExpress and resell those products because they're super cheap. But a lot of drop shippers use those websites, and the quality of the products, as well as the shipping time to you, is super, super low. So I probably wouldn't recommend it, but I just kind of wanted to touch on it briefly because it is an actual place that you can source products if you want to, okay? Now, 3 more I'm gonna run through really quickly. The first one is you don't have to actually physically go to the thrift store, right? Or physically go to the Goodwill. Just like the retail websites, you don't have to physically go to Walmart, for example. You can source walmart.com with software. You can literally go to the thrift store website or the Goodwill, like goodwill.com, right? And source through products there. So that's another place that you can do it. I don't think that there's any, to my knowledge at least, software that will do this for you. But again, it saves you time. You don't have to physically leave and go to the store, and you can look at all the deals there online right from your computer, right from your couch, okay? Now, the next one that I want to talk about really briefly is drop shipping. And the last 3 tutorials that I actually did were all on drop shipping. So I recommend going to check them out. Drop shipping there's a bunch of different ways to drop ship. But the way that I recommend that you do it is kind of like a hybrid between retail drop shipping and arbitrage, like I talk about a lot. So you can do that on Poshmark, you can do that on Facebook Marketplace, and you can do that on an OfferUp very, very effectively. And if you want to check out more information on how to do that, basically, it gives you access to Amazon's entire inventory, entire warehouse, entire logistics, entire storage, because you don't actually need the products physically before you actually list them yourself for sale, right? And so it gives you access to all their inventory, and you can list all that inventory without ever having to store any of it yourself, without ever having to buy the products ahead of time and source inventory ahead of time and spend money before you lock down the profit and before you're insured the sale and the profit, right? So it's a great way to kind of leverage Amazon and all the products on Amazon. But if you want a full tutorial on that, like I said, the last 3 videos that I dropped before this video right here are all on drop shipping. One is Poshmark drop shipping, one is Facebook Marketplace drop shipping, and one is drop shipping on OfferUp, okay? And finally, the last way to source is wholesale websites. But one thing I didn't touch on with liquidation, as well as, same true with wholesale, and also very true there, is that you do need a reseller's permit to source liquidation and wholesale, okay? So I did a whole video on, I think there's 3 to 4 simple steps that anybody can take to get a reseller's permit. I will drop that up in the right-hand corner right now if you want to check it out. And I will also link it at the bottom of the description below if you want to check it out as well after this video is done. But you need a reseller's permit. It's very, very easy to go get, and then you can source from liquidation and you can source from wholesale websites. So wholesale is, in my opinion, the most scalable form of online reselling. You can source wholesale directly from your computer, right from your couch or from your home, right? And you can also sell it directly on Amazon right from your home, right? You don't ever need to leave. You can have it shipped into FBA. You can manage all your products directly from your computer. And I have an entire playlist if you're interested on, how you can sell more from wholesale, how you can use software to source for you, and a number of other sites that you can use. There's also wholesale sites linked in the free cheat sheet if you want to grab that there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's how you find products to resell from your couch.